Arcane has gone completely insane. Season 2, Episode 6 of Arcane just hit us with some of the craziest moments in all of Arcane, leaving 3 characters dead and the fate of several others completely up in the air. Jayce has suddenly reappeared as Dark Jayce, my dude blasting his former best friend Viktor into another galaxy. Warwick, or should I say Vander, was actually making progress with Viktor and even brought together our 2 complicated sisters, Vi and Jinx, only for Viktor's death to send Vander into a murderous rampage, resulting in our new little Teemo hat wearing friend Isha to kill him. Meanwhile, Mel has been kidnapped by the Black Rose and possibly Leblanc, where she has a massive glow up. All the while, I'm still reeling from the show revealing and confirming what we were all thinking, that Singed is Oriana's father. Hello everyone, I'm Finn. Welcome back to Finn Films. Join me today as I unpack and explain everything that happened in Season 2, Act 2 of Arcane, and we theorize just exactly how this show is going to end. So we start things off with everyone's favorite pretty hammer-wielding boy. What the f happened to Jayce? Last time we saw Jayce, we saw him being sucked up into the anomaly with Heimerdinger and Echo after Viktor's Hextech core seems to have corrupted or changed Hextech itself and the source of its magic and power. Jayce has seemingly been gone for some time, as there is a very minor time skip between Act 1 and Act 2 of Season 2 of Arcane, the anomaly finally spitting him out, where we see that he has, well, he's changed pretty significantly. My man looks dirty as hell, his hair is long, his facial hair has grown, and the strange magical crystal given to him by Rise as a child now has been embedded into his wrist. As well, his Hextech hammer seemingly has gotten a new freaky skin. Jayce mentally has also gone through a pretty massive transition, as he now seems to be on a mission. He seems to be hell-bent to put a stop to Viktor and Hextech, no matter what the cost. Jayce has seemingly been corrupted or influenced by possibly arcane magic itself, and it is greatly affecting his mind, as we see Jayce suffer from these kind of strange visions where he sees corrupted versions of Sallow and this kid in Viktor's commune. Clearly, whatever has happened to Jayce here has convinced him that Hextech, Viktor, and his followers are evil. The question is, why has he come to this conclusion, and what is this that is affecting him? Was he manipulated by the anomaly? By the arcane magic itself and the weave? Or is it possible the crystal given to him by Rise when he was a child that is now stuck in his forearm is the thing that's causing him to go a little crazy? All we know is that whatever it was enough to motivate Jayce to literally blow a hole in his best friend, starting off a kind of catalyst of events, all of Viktor's followers who he has touched with his powers, pulling their best exorcism impression, and sending Vander into a murderous rampage. To me, this was really one of the most tragic moments of this show so far in its entirety, and the sad thing is, I kind of had a feeling that this was coming. I mean, this is Arcane after all. They do love to traumatize us as an audience. Vander as Warwick has become a very kind of integral point to the story so far. Singed wants Vander, aka Warwick, so he can use him and his regenerative powers to bring back his daughter Oriana, who is in the process of dying. And Bessa wants Vander to be used as a weapon, or to use Singed's research to better arm her soldiers in her fight against the Black Rose, and to eventually probably take over Piltover. Meanwhile, Vi and Jinx just want the man who raised them back, and Viktor, bless his freaking soul, just wants to help people regardless of the cost to him personally. Singed as well is extremely invested in Viktor's power, not only as a force to kind of create and change Zaun as a whole into advanced technology, but in his own kind of selfish purposes, as I imagine that Singed would also want Viktor to save his daughter Oriana. But now Viktor, as well as Vander, are gone. At least temporarily. Spoiler alert, if we're going by the fact that Arcane is a prequel to League of Legends, then both Viktor and Vander, or should I say Warwick, do eventually come back to life. As well, Oriana eventually completes her transformation from her kind of sick, fleshy girl form to her metal clockwork girl form that we all know and love from League of Legends. The question is, how do we get there? Well, we know that Vander possesses impressive regenerative abilities. We also know that Vander in this form bears similarities to the Warwick that we are familiar with from the video game League of Legends, but a little less wolfy. To me, it seems very likely that Singed will take the bodies of both Vander and Viktor back to his lab and do some freaky science shit to bring Viktor back to life using Warwick's regenerative abilities, with Singed's primary motivation likely being needing Viktor alive so Viktor can help save his daughter Oriana. We've already seen Vander die or come very close to death and then been brought back to life by Singed once in this show, and we know that the dead body of the Merkwolf is still in Singed's lab, so it is very likely that Singed would further experiment on Vander, finally completing his transformation into the wolf-like killing machine that fans of League of Legends know him to be in Warwick. Again, we know that Arcane is very much kind of like prequel for much of League of Legends lore, specifically for these characters in Piltover and Zaun, so I would really give it like a 99% chance that both Viktor and Warwick will come back to life, Viktor's return most likely happening in our next set of episodes, while Warwick's may be something that is kind of left as a teaser and not shown to us on screen. A character though who we don't know their fate, we don't know what will ultimately happen to them, is Jinx's new little mute friend, Isha. I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I saw Jinx, Vi, and Isha step foot into Viktor's commune, I just had a feeling that Isha was going to die, but she was going to possibly sacrifice herself. That being said, it definitely didn't change how emotionally scarring this scene was. Since Isha's introduction in Season 2, we've seen Jinx have a major change of character, as she has now found that kind of sisterly bond once again. Jinx becoming way more mentally stable. So, you know, it was really only a matter of time until Isha died and sent Jinx back into her straight-up psychotic mental state. Now, technically, we don't know if Isha is dead, and Arcane is full of surprises. With Arcane, I found it's good to take kind of the Game of Thrones rule. If you don't see a character, like, explicitly die on camera, then there is a good chance that they aren't actually dead. But if I had to take a guess, I think Isha is likely probably dead, and her death will be a major motivating factor for Jinx, as this will push Jinx to kind of join the big upcoming fight against Mbessa and the forces of Noxus, as it very much seems like the climax of Arcane is going to center around the ultimate fight between Piltover, Noxus, and Zaun, eventually ending in the independence for Zaun and the start of the kind of nation of Zaun. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite storylines, which is also one of the most confusing storylines, and that is Mel, the Black Rose, and Leblanc. I said this in my last Arcane video, but I am completely convinced that this mysterious doppelganger disguising themselves as Kino, Mel's brother, and possibly even Mbessa's Black Rose assassin, are both the League of Legends champion Leblanc in disguise. So if we remember, Mel gets kidnapped by the Black Rose and then imprisoned in an oculorum, I think I'm saying that right, a chamber built by ancient forces to lock up false prophets, which that alone brings so many questions to mind on potential League of Legends lore, but we don't have time for that. Here, to Mel's surprise, she finds her once-thought-dead brother, Kino, which we learned in the series was killed by the Black Rose. Of course, it doesn't take Mel long to realize that this is just an illusion, the Black Rose illusionist, who I believe is most likely LeBlanc, locking Mel in magical chains. Magical chains being another kind of obvious reference to LeBlanc, but to our surprise, Mel begins glowing, unleashing a beam of light-based power, presumably allowing her to escape her Black Rose prison. Now, there are a few other light-based warriors that we know of in League of Legends, a few others that come to mind, specifically one being a member of the Solari faith, Leona, a worshipper of the sun. It's unclear at this point exactly what is the base of Mel's powers, where they come from, what exactly they are, but what we do know for certain is that Mel and Kino apparently seem to have another hidden sibling. In these scenes, the character who I believe to be LeBlanc, the illusionist of the Black Rose illusionist, tells Mel that her mother, Mbessa, apparently had another child in a secret affair in the city or the region of Basilisk, and whatever this secret child inherited is apparently of great interest to the Black Rose. Rose. However, after seeing Mel's hidden kind of latent powers and ability, it does make me wonder if it is Mel herself that is possibly this hidden affair love child, which would explain why the Black Rose were after Mbessa's children and why Mel herself is seemingly now so special. Then again, it's kind of hard to know at this point, and these scenes were very confusing. What also makes it even more confusing is that the mysterious voice of the Black Rose illusionist, who I believe may or may not be Leblanc, refers to Mel as sister.
That is to you, sister.
This raising a whole host of other questions. Is she simply referring to Mel as sister because she was cosplaying as Kino, her brother? Are Leblanc and Mel somehow related? Because Leblanc can take the form of, basically anyone that she wishes, and maybe she seduced Mbessa with a kind of secret form. Is this not Leblanc and the secret sibling of Mel and Kino? We really just don't know, and we're going to have to wait until the final 3 episodes to find out. Again, I'm almost positive that this person, this Black Rose illusionist, is Leblanc. If we look at the markings we see on this character's eyes, they almost straight up match the marking on LeBlanc's eyes, so to me it seems more than likely that this is LeBlanc working from the shadows to get her way and manipulate Mbessa, Mel, and basically everyone else in our story. Now, to what end are LeBlanc and the Black Rose working? Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see and find out, but if we know LeBlanc and we know the Black Rose, the end game is almost always power and influence. As far as the ending of Arcane goes, to me it seems like we are headed for an all-out war between Piltover, Zaun, and Noxus, as Mbessa now seems hell-bent to get what she wants by force. The most likely outcome in this war, in my opinion, is the defeat of Noxus and the founding of the independent nation-state of Zaun, something that we see Vander, Silco, and Jinx and Vi's mother, Felicia, all had been fighting their entire lives for. All of them, Vander, Silco, and Felicia, ending up giving their lives for this goal. So to me, it would kind of make a lot of dramatic and it would be very satisfying from a story perspective if this series Arcane ends off with the founding of the independent nation state of Zaun. I imagine as well we will see a return of Echo and Heimerdinger, Echo likely getting access to his time control abilities that were teased in Season 1 and he is well known for in kind of League of Legends lore in the game. Viktor as well will likely be revived and be further on his way to becoming the Viktor we know from League of Legends, the more kind of emotionless Viktor, a Viktor that strives for progress and kind of his glorious technological revolution. Caitlyn and Vi will likely end up together for good, which has been teased throughout the entire show so far, and I'm sure that the final form of Vander as Warwick and Orianna becoming her clockwork self will likely be teased as well by the end of Arcane. For now though, we're just gonna have to wait and see how they eventually end up wrapping Arcane and end up tying a bow in all of these many different plot points in the final 3 episodes, and what teasers that Riot is going to leave us with for the inevitable future new League of Legends animated series that I imagine is to come in the next few years. Please, for the love of God, Riot, give me an animated series based around Zed and his origin story. I'm begging you. As always, guys, with these videos, these are just my thoughts and opinions, so feel free to let me know yours in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video or you learned something new, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as that is the easiest way to help support me, and it really does go a long way to helping to put these videos into the algorithm. As always, guys, thank you again for continuing to watch my videos and to support me. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Until next time, peace, love, adu.